Hi guys, JB Minot, and these are my pickups for the month of September 2023. Okay, the first game I'm going to talk about is a game that reminds me of Cat Quest, but it's a little more detailed in its graphics, and there's a lot more exploration, and it's way harder. Tunic. You're playing a fox instead of a cat, and it's from an isometric view, but the basic draw of this game is the constant exploration. There's that. It's a beautiful game. Funny story about this game. I ordered it from Best Buy. It was supposed to be picked up within the hour. I went after 2 hours. They hadn't called me, and they couldn't find it. So they were supposed to put a note on there saying that when they get it, they're supposed to call me. Well, I went back home and looked it up, and sure enough, they canceled my order without telling me. So I went ahead and I ordered it via mail and got it a few days later. But the Best Buy here in Minot, North Dakota sucks. Or some of them, not everybody. Most people here work, they're pretty cool. But the one I dealt with, the manager was a dickhead. So, it's Controls and Concepts little booklet. And it's got an Overlord map, or an Overworld map. Like I said, there's a lot to explore in this game. I barely touched the surface of it. It's a fun game, but it's also a difficult game. It's almost a Souls-like game. And you will die a lot. There's a soundtrack, I do believe, and plus a discount for Tunic merchandise. There's some stickers. And here's a big old, everything in the book is, or everything in the game is constructed through runes and stuff. There's a lot of runes in this game, so. Okay. This game is based off a popular board game called Gloomhaven, Mercenaries Edition. What it is, it's like a tactical RPG, and you're given 2 cards. And on each card, there's 2 options on the top and bottom. If you use the top option for one card, you have to use the bottom option for the second card. If you use the bottom option on one card, you have to use the top option on the second card. And that's how it goes from there. And you recruit mercenaries, you beat bad guys, you pick up treasure, etc., etc. My one bad thing about this game is that you can't play it really well on the Switch Lite because the fonts are too small. The lettering is too small. For some reason, these people, they don't realize that the Switch is also a handheld system. It's not just meant to be played on TV. It's also meant to be played in handheld, so I should be able to see in handheld mode. And I'm not blind. I got pretty good eyesight. Okay, Warhammer 40,000 Bolt Gun. This is based in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. It's a throwback to Doom, Duke Nukem, etc., etc. And it's a fun game if you like first-person shooters like that. But the graphics could use a little work, though. I think the graphics are a little ugly for it. But there's that. Okay, I got this from PlayAsia.com. Dungeons 3. This is a sequel to Dungeons. You make dungeons in hell. You're kind of a demonic warlord. And you make these dungeons, and you make up rooms and stuff. You build rooms, etc., etc. You send minions out to get resources, stuff like that. The font on that game is pretty small too, but it's still fun. God of Rock. This is a rhythm/battle fighter game, and I would enjoy it, but the game is just way too hard from the get-go. I mean, there's supposed to be an easy mode, but it is not easy. From what I understand, you can take out some of the notes, though. But I got it for cheap, but I didn't care for it all that much. Samba de Amigo, Party Central. If you like party games, you're basically using your Joy-Con for a samba, for a maraca. And it's a rhythm game. And it's okay. They say it's not as responsive as it could be. I haven't really had a problem with the response. I played it on the Switch Lite, though. Here's a great puzzle game, 2D and Top D. Basically, you're in a bunch of different rooms. You go from one room to another, and you have to escape each room. And what you do is you have to swap perspectives. There's one creature that sees things from a side perspective and one creature sees things from a top-down perspective. And each of them sets each other up so that they can both leave the room at the same time. And you have to figure out how they do that by their different perspectives. It's a pretty neat game. Here's a good game, a fun game. If you like, it's a mix between a card game. I don't think it's a card game. I think you use cards. I don't think there's a deck builder or anything like that. But it's basically it's a platformer slash speedrunner game if you want to speedrun. But you can play the game without speedrunning most of the time. Neon White. A beautiful, beautiful game. You play this guy who should be in hell, but because heaven needs you to do certain tasks, you're called upon to go out and fight demons for them. And hopefully, if you get enough demons and you beat the competition, you can get a place in heaven. But it's a pretty fun game. You basically, everything you do that you can do is done through cards. If you can shoot an enemy, to shoot enemies, you have to have a card. To jump higher, you delete cards, etc., etc. It's pretty fun. The controls aren't as bad as some of these speedrunners, you know. It's a first-person platformer, which to me tend to be kind of a pain in the ass because you can't see where you're going half the time. But, you know, if you enjoy those kind of games, it's a beautiful game. I enjoy it. It's very addictive. Plus, there's replay value because you're trying to get the bronze, you're trying to get the silver, you're trying to get the gold. Okay, this is a beautiful Metroidvania with great sound called Afterimage. Okay, the only thing I really don't like, you're playing a girl and you're basically killing demons and creatures and whatnot to save your village. And the only thing I really don't like about this game is every pissant enemy you fight, even those cheap little bats, you have to hit them about 15 times before they die. But you can grow in strength, and I've only played one boss so far. I don't know what abilities you can develop throughout the Metroidvania, but it's a beautiful game. It's fun to explore. Okay, now for some sealed games that I haven't played yet. Umahara Kawase Bazooka. Of course, this is from the Umahara universe. This is basically a Smash Brothers type game where you're beating up waves and waves of enemies using your fishing line and your hook. And the Umahara Kawasawa games usually tend to be platformers. But I got this for like, I think, less than 15 bucks. So, and it's sealed. But there's that. Trine 5, A Clockwork Conspiracy. In the Trine series, you're three people. You're guiding three people. Each person, a wizard, a thief, and a warrior, has a different ability that you need to get from one place to another. And it's like the Lost Vikings. You know, it's kind of a modern 21st century's answer to the Lost Vikings from the 90s. But these are beautiful games with great puzzles. And I haven't played this one yet, but I played all the other Trine games, and they're pretty fun. Contra Anniversary Collection. I got it from via limited run via Best Buy. But if you like Contra, you can't go wrong with this. It's when Konami made great games. And the Contra series is a great game, great series. And Blasphemous 2. It's the sequel to the first game, Blasphemous, which is a Metroidvania, which is, from what I understand, a very hard Metroidvania. But it's a very gory Metroidvania. Okay, guys, those are my pickups for the month of September. I hope you all have a happy Halloween. Keep praying for the Middle East. Pray for peace in the Ukraine and Russia. And keep looking up. Keep, you know, God's in control. And I hope to hear from you soon. If you like this video, subscribe and give a thumbs up. In the meantime, God bless. Bye-bye.